Here. Here. Maybe should I put this
You
here?
have a sink up there?
I'm never
Sink up there?
sure where to put my microphone here. That works. Okay. Man, I don't even know how to introduce this.
Oh, yeah.
I just make something up. Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Welcome to this new podcast. I don't know what it's called yet. I don't know what exactly it is, but this is gonna be it's gonna be like a Bible study podcast. We're just gonna read a part of the Bible. We're starting with Matthew 1, which might be a shorter episode because there's not too much to talk about in genealogy. But yeah, we're just doing a Bible study. It's gonna be a podcast. Hopefully, some of you all out there get some enjoyment from it. My name's Caedmon David. I'm here with my brother Aric Miller, and welcome, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a lot for me to edit out that right there. Yeah. Okay.
That's
So,
okay.
I guess the way this is gonna go is that maybe I should light my candles. Hold on one second. Basically, the way this is gonna go is Aric is just gonna be reading the the Bible, and then he'll stop when either I ask him to stop because I have something to say, or he'll stop because he has something to say.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see how much we actually have to talk about here. But because I was listening through this on the way to church this morning, and I thought, what are we even gonna talk about?
Yeah, that's kind of
I
the same for
realized,
me, basically.
yeah, you can go ahead and start reading, Aric. I realized that I don't have my lights on, and that's making me look very dark in the recording.
Yeah.
So it does make my candles look cooler, but I'm gonna go turn my lights on. So you can go ahead
I
and
was
start.
wondering if something was different. But yeah, let's start with Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. An account of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. From Abraham to David. Abraham fathered Isaac, Isaac fathered Jacob, Jacob fathered Judah and his brothers, Judah fathered Perez and Zerah by Tamar, Perez fathered Hezron, Hezron fathered Aram, Aram fathered Aminadab. Aminadab is the reason you got me to read this because it has all the weird names that I'm totally gonna mispronounce.
Sure.
Aminadab fathered Nashon. Nashon fathered Salmon. Salmon fathered Boaz by Rahab. Boaz fathered Obed by Ruth. Obed fathered Jesse, and Jesse fathered King David. Okay,
So
more
there's
genealogy.
yeah.
Just
We got to a name that is actually, you know, we sort of know. I guess Rahab was also up there.
yeah.
Who who was Rahab, Aric?
Who was Rahab?
Who was Rahab?
Um, I actually don't know at the top of my
Okay.
head.
So Rahab, when um, when the two spies came into whatever city it was, I don't remember. Um, Rahab
Mhm.
was a prostitute in that city who hid the spies so they could be
Oh,
safe and then
right.
make it back out. Um, I don't remember.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember what the name of the city was. Um, but yeah. Anyway, so that is Rahab.
Okay. Yeah. I think in this first area, there's not really anything too interesting. Um, Mostly just names.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone named Salmon,
I don't think that's how you
so that's kind of
pronounce it.
interesting.
I don't think you
It's spelled
pronounce
like
it that
salmon.
way.
Might be salmon or something, but it's spelled the same way that salmon is spelled.
Hmm, maybe. Um, yeah, there's.
People in the comments tell us.
I guess. Um, like my sort of thought, um, looking
Hmm.
at. Oh, let's do this. Looking at like genealogy and like being like, what is the um, sorry, it just looked incomplete with there only being two over there. Um,
Yeah, that's fine.
uh, but with genealogy, something I always sort of think about is like how much, um, how much of our lives does God like sort of plan for, um, or like
Hmm.
have control over? Because like, you know, in order for the genealogy of Jesus to actually work, you know, there's a lot of people that, um, you know, have to come together uh, and have a kid. Um,
Yeah.
so it is interesting to think about, like, is it all sort of like God's master plan? Because I tend to be lean towards less Calvinistic, um,
Yeah.
where I think we have more free will, um, and then
Yeah. Same
where
here.
I think sort of a more Calvin Calvinist like person uh, would tend to believe in less free will and like everything is predetermined by God. Um,
Hmm.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that
Yeah.
everything is predetermined by God. I think to me it seems like um, that when I put this shirt on this morning, I don't think that God planned for me to put this shirt on.
Yeah.
Now he could have, because it just happened to be the shirt on the top of um, my shirt pile. Um, so like maybe he did do something to make me wear this shirt, but I have no reason to think that he would have done that, right? Because it,
Yeah.
for one thing, it doesn't affect anything. But
Nothing.
even
Yeah.
things, well, even things that do affect stuff a little bit more, um,
Hmm.
like I don't, I don't necessarily think that like God has um, like a wife and or husband planned out for everyone.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't. believe in like the idea of soulmates or like chosen. I think that like anyone can really choose any one to try and have a relationship with. And I don't think that like some relationships are just destined to fail because they weren't like the chosen one or something, where it's like it wasn't meant to be like the right relationship or something. But I think like in every relationship, no matter who you choose, you can make it work.
Right. Well,
Oh.
with that being said, though, it does sort of
Uh-huh.
beg the question of like, if God purposefully designs each of us, as I believe He does,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, if you have different parents, then you would be a very different person. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
so now I think this is sort of one of those areas where you have to realize that um, just because God sort of like has knowledge of what's gonna happen doesn't mean that he's necessarily choosing it, right? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we can sort of determine this if we look at like uh, children that were conceived out of wedlock, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
um, like a sinful act that actually brought that child into the world. And surely God didn't want that sinful act to take
Yeah.
place, but also, surely God does wish for that child to exist in the world. Um, so I think
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of an example of, uh, you know, just because something, um, just because like something sinful happened doesn't mean that God's not gonna do it to fulfill His will, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It does get confusing and interesting to think about.
Yeah. That is an interesting yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I really have much else to say
Yeah.
on that. So, should we move on to the next part of the genealogy?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So this one looks like it has a few more names that we might recognize. From David to the Babylonian exile. David fathered Solomon by Uriah's wife. Solomon fathered Rehoboam fathered Abijah. Abijah fathered Asa. Asa fathered Jehoshaphat.
Jehoshaphat.
Jehoshaphat. It's funny because I literally listened to this on like, the audio Bible and I still don't know how these are pronounced.
Yeah.
Jehoshaphat fathered Joram. Joram fathered Uzziah. Uzziah fathered Jotham. Jotham fathered Ahaz. Ahaz fathered Hezekiah. Hezekiah fathered Manasseh fathered Amon. Amon fathered Josiah, and Josiah fathered Jeconiah and his brothers at the time of the exile to Babylon. So that's to the next heading.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously, um, Solomon is there, and
Mm-hmm.
again, Solomon was. You know who Solomon's mother was?
Um, Not off the top of my head.
It's probably the most famous significant other of David.
I'm blanking on that right now.
Okay, that's fine. It's
Yeah.
Bathsheba. Bathsheba was
Oh,
Solomon's
right,
mother.
right. That's right.
So if you know about, David and Bathsheba, which most people probably do, because I feel like that's one of the more well-known Bible stories, I
Yeah.
guess.
The
Anyway,
most,
but
like,
it sort of goes back to
yeah.
my point where it's like, because clearly God didn't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But if it didn't happen, we never would have gotten Solomon, and then we never would have gotten Jesus by extension of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That is interesting. I honestly haven't looked like too much into like the genealogy stuff in the Bible, just because usually it's like the boring thing that like I'm just like, okay, skip that onto like the actual interesting stuff happening.
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting to like see how things are connected, even if most of the names are just like random people that we have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
Should I go on to the final part of the genealogy here?
Let's do it.
Okay. After the exile to Babylon, Jeconiah fathered Shealtiel. Shealtiel fathered Zerubbabel, something like that.
Zerubbabel.
Zerubbabel fathered
I usually hear
Zerubbabel.
it pronounced Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel.
Oh, okay.
Zerubbabel.
Honestly, these are giving me good name ideas for when I have a kid. Because no one's gonna know how to pronounce their name, and it'll be funny, and also probably horrible. But anyways,
No. A lot of people don't
Zerubbabel
know how to
fathered
pronounce
Abiad.
Caedmon.
That's true.
Including our
Usually, people know how
parents.
to like what?
Have I talked to you about this? The actual technical pronunciation of Caedmon is actually Caedmon.
Oh, I think maybe at one point, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the
That's
way I pronounce my name isn't the original pronunciation, I guess.
yeah,
Anyway.
is interesting. I don't think I've ever had anyone like mispronounce my name, but I've definitely had people misspell it because my name's spelled weird. Because my parents also don't know how to spell Aric right.
Yeah, exactly.
This video is now just gonna be us criticizing our parents' name choosing and stuff. Anyways,
It's because your name, though, actually comes from something interesting. It comes from Ares, the Greek
that
god
is
of war.
true.
Because our father, Mark, is derived from Mars, the Roman god of war. So, there's a fun tidbit.
And then if you replace the S in Aries or Mars, you get Mark or Eric. But even my name doesn't match that spelling because even though what I had heard from Dad was actually it was originally going to be spelled Arek, but then Mom didn't like how it looked, and so they changed it to Aric, which I find very funny. But anyways, enough about our names. Let me pronounce these other names here. Abiad fathered Eliakim. Eliakim fathered Azor. Azor fathered Zadok. Zadok fathered Achim. Achim fathered Eliud.
This isn't important, but I ran into
Okay.
Zadok a while back.
Oh, really?
I was like, that's an interesting name. So.
That's an interesting name. It kind of gives like scientist vibes. I don't know.
Because it has Doc in it, probably.
I think that's it, but also like the Z is kind of like a fun letter that like
Right. I
kind of is
picture.
like
You know what comes to my mind? Darth
what?
Maul, because his species is Zabrak. Um, so
Oh,
it,
so it
it
sounds
kind
kind
of
of
sounds
similar.
similar. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yep.
All right. Uh, Zadok fathered Akim. Akim fathered Eliud. Eliud fathered Eleazar. Eleazar fathered Mathan. Mathan fathered Jacob, and Jacob fathered Joseph, the husband of Mary, who gave birth to Jesus, who is called the Messiah. So, yep, here we have Joseph's bloodline. So this goes all the way to Joseph.
Right.
I always forget because in Luke it has the one that goes to Mary,
Mm-hmm.
I think, if I remember right. But
Yeah.
I always get them confused on which one has Mary's and which one has Joseph's.
Yeah. Now it is
So,
interesting because I
uh-huh.
guess in theory what I said wasn't necessarily true because um, Jesus, you know,
Mm-hmm.
l- likely, very likely, wasn't genetically related to Joseph. Um,
That is, yeah,
so
that
you
is
know he
true.
didn't come into the world in the usual way. Um, so when I said like Solomon had to happen in order for Jesus to happen, not technically true,
That's not
but
necessarily true. Yeah.
um, I
But I
do.
mean, for Joseph
Mhm.
to happen, which I think
Right.
does still have a little bit of an impact on how
Mhm.
Jesus was raised.
Yeah.
So you could argue that there is
Yeah.
still some
Well,
significance
and
there.
also because I'm fairly sure that it was
Uh-huh.
prophesied that Jesus would be uh, in the bloodline of David. Um,
Yeah, that's
so,
true. I
so
think
anyway, in order for that like
trying to remember where that is.
prophecy to become true, um, it did have to happen. So,
Yeah. And then at the end of this section, it says, and Jacob fathered Joseph, the husband of Mary, who gave birth to Jesus, who is called the Messiah.
what? Who called
So
him that?
crazy. I didn't know that this is where this was going. I didn't like the birth of Jesus was at the end of this. I thought this was just random names.
Mm, yeah. Um,
It's not like this is what this entire like first few chapters of Matthew is about.
yeah. Yeah. I do think
hmm
uh, I don't know that. Have you heard the theory that um, that
That
uh, have you heard the theory that like um, I don't know, it's like I'm I'm kind of trying to remember because I don't want to misrepresent what the theory actually is. Um,
uh-huh.
but it's like the idea that sin is passed down through the father. Um,
Oh yeah,
so in order for Jesus to be without sin, it had to be a virgin birth where he had no human father. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I don't think that's true. I think that's a
yep.
bit of a
I don't
stretch.
either.
Um,
I,
but
I also think it's kind of I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing. I don't know. I don't think there's anywhere in the Bible that like kind of indicates that that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's like I don't really have any other kind of like argument against it really, but I don't think there's much principle for it at least.
Well, I don't I don't know, like, I mean, part of this might be because I don't really believe in like the concept of original sin, like sin, you know,
Yeah.
being passed down. It just generally, I don't
I
believe in sin being passed down. I
yeah.
think people sin because they choose to, and no other reason. Um, so
So like not that like sin nature just comes like since Adam sinned, we all
mhm.
like as generations go by, we all have sinned because of Adam, or are you saying that like it's just that we all have like we're all just geared to sin just because?
Well, I think um, I don't think we have to sin. Um,
Yeah.
and this is where this kind of gets confusing because when I
Okay.
say I don't think we have to sin, it's like, well, what exactly do you mean by that? Do you mean that there
Are you
could be?
saying that like
Mhm.
are you saying like that sin is always like a choice rather than
Yeah.
like we do it because uh we have sin?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess if that makes sense. I don't know. That is kind of
Exactly.
a
I
confusing.
I I
Okay.
bel I don't. Yeah. I don't believe that sin is irresistible. And we know this because
Mm.
we know that that Jesus was tempted in every way that we are. Um,
Yeah.
so, right, and this is like when people. Uh, this is right. That's part of what it means to be entirely human. Is that he has the experience
Hmm.
we have. He has every temptation he has. So I think through that we can know that Jesus had the ability to sin, but always chose not to. That's what it sounds like is being
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I kind of agree with that idea as well because I think that if saying that we just sin because uh, we're just sinners and that's what we do just feels like a way to avoid accountability. Of just like, oh well, that's just the way we are.
mhm.
We can't really ever choose not to sin, but it kind of just in
Well,
like
how could
spreading that kind of idea.
I
But I don't
don't
know.
I don't understand how there could be a punishment um, for something that's unavoidable, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's like I don't know why this is what the example that comes to mind, but
Uh-huh.
in
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland, Alice walks into the Duchess, and then the Duchess is singing a song about how she beats her child whenever her child sneezes, right? Um,
Mm.
so it's like if we have no choice but to sin, how can you fairly inflict
Yeah.
a punishment among us, right? Like that's just like being your
Yeah.
child because they sneeze. Which also, in that song, she says he only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. Um, so, it, even in like that sort of weird scenario, it
Hmm.
is based on the premise that he has a choice to not do it.
Yeah,
So anyway, that's kind
that
of
makes sense.
where my thoughts lie on that. Is um,
Yeah,
I can't see how there's a punishment for something that we actually have to do. Um, so
yeah, that it doesn't quite make sense to I guess put consequences on, like, I guess not necessarily doesn't make sense, but it's not just to like have someone who can't control their actions,
mm-hmm.
like in the sense of like literally has no choice in whatever they're doing, um, to have to face like punishment for that.
Right. Yeah.
Because then it's like you're just punishing them for living, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
it's I don't believe in the idea of punishing people for just existing,
I would hope
which
so.
is the idea that sin is just like something that happens because you exist. Like that does kind of fall into that thing where it's like, oh well, that doesn't work
Yeah.
based on that
Now,
logic. But yeah,
I do believe, I do, um, believe that, um, there's a lot more opportunity to sin post fall. Um,
yeah, I would agree with that.
anyway, uh, that's where I stand. You know, maybe you'll see my mind be changed. I'm always open to my mind be changed on just about anything. Um,
Yeah,
so maybe as we move forwards, you'll see that, and you know that's fine. This isn't the sort of stuff that I feel like we need to get. Um, you know, we need to fight over or anything like that. Um, though
yeah,
I do think there is kind of um, I'm not sure if I want to say like consequences. That there is, if you have the opposite belief where it's like, oh, you have to sin, that could actually lead you to fall into sin. Um,
yeah,
you know, possibly, not necessarily, but I feel like often it does in like Christian kids. Uh, where
hmm,
like they're like, oh, okay, I guess you have to sin every once in a while, so I guess I'll just, you know, steal
yeah.
this chocolate milk and then murder a guy or something. Because I guess that's my one sin for the day.
That
Anyway, um,
that was like a sharp contrast.
yes, that is my brilliant comedy is just being like, oh yeah, you got
All
sin. I
right.
guess I'll just murder a dude. Um, so yeah, anything else you want to say before we close this video off, Eric?
Um, I can't think of anything.
All right. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Probably we're gonna try and do one of these every week. Now, inevitably, um, the we'll have to cancel every here and there, but yeah, subscribe to this channel. I'm not really doing anything else on this particular channel, but if you want to check out more things that we do together, you can go over to the Sci-Fi Academia YouTube channel, um, where we talk about science fiction. There's a little bit of Jesus talk over there as well. Um, you know, there's a little bit Bible. Um, but there's also a lot of like stuff that's just like talking about the stories we love in science fiction and superheroes and all that stuff. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, what should we say to close out the video?
Um, stay Bible-ish.
What if we just said leave?
Leave. Until next time, leave.
Until next time,
But
go away. The video's over. What if we just said that?
yeah, we're
Until
not
next
talking
time,
anymore.
the video is over. This is where the video ends. Alright,
Goodbye.
yeah, let us know if you watch this, leave a comment saying how we should end our videos. Personally, I'm kind of
Yep.
leaning towards the video is over.